Ian, my friend, welcome to the Swift Half again. How are you?
I'm great, Alan. How are you on, the day after April Fool's Day? Did you get caught out?
I did actually. I got caught out on one. I noticed most of them at some point, but one got caught me out, and you're not going to believe which one it was, Ian. It was Bailey Caravans. So I'm a bit of a caravaner. I like to go out in my caravan. 3, 4 times a year, go different places. And Bailey's Caravan launched a new not a caravan, a what do they call a Winnebago type style thing, camper van, um, with a roof terrace on it, and it made it look so real because it fell down and everything else, and yeah, I got caught out with it, mate. I was like, thank you very much. It wasn't until I looked a bit further down, it says more details, email Bailey aprilfoolsday.com or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that spoiled it by having that clear one. Because I like the ones which you look at and you're like, oh, that could be true. I like the completely silly ones as well, going back in the archives, like the BBC spaghetti trees back in the 70s, things like that. Really, really silly. Yeah, I can accept them. Some of the other ones that I've seen, we might as well go into this. Looking back, I'm sure our listeners will enjoy this, and they'll probably go back. I, as I was saying, I like the silly ones. I like the ones that are clear. There's some which are very, very brave. Like the ones which say, "Oh, I'm retiring," or something like that, and it's like, okay, cool. And or the shop shut it. I saw one for a local shop that says we're closing down, and people are saying, "Oh, I'm sorry to see you go, but I can completely understand. Last time I went in there was nothing in."
That's just the comment you want, isn't it? We're shutting down. Oh, thank God for that.
But but yeah, I think stuff like that is very brave. Thankfully, some of the less well, the less nice ones have died a death because for a while there used to be this, I don't know, common April Fools where a lady would share a picture of well of an ultrasound. And she wasn't actually pregnant. And I think that was always a little bit mean because, why would you announce it like that? And you never know what other people are going through, particularly people who are trying to have kids.
Yeah, yeah, it is, and those are ones which always sort of sometimes were funny, sometimes they weren't. There was one that's got everyone this year. I think it's a little headline, and then it says "Read for more," or it's something like the 5 ways to avoid April Fool's Day. Read for more, and then there's no button afterwards. I've seen that so much today. None of them caught me out. I think I saw 4 in a row. So there's no way with that one catching me out. But yeah, I think the ones like art where you say they were individual ones, not always right good. I've picked some of my worst and some of my favourite ones out this week.
Oh, can you share?
I can. So I'm going to go with my worst ones that didn't fool me, and I didn't really rate these. So will we get cancelled if I tell you who put them up? We'll not get cancelled, will we?
Oh,
It's
we
my
won't get
opinion.
cancelled. It's
It's my
fine.
opinion. Running Week announced one. Breaking news. World Athletics has announced a decision that effectively bans carbon plate running shoes. And then it went all into all these headlines of why running shoes are banned and or carbon plated running shoes are banned. It would have quite a good write up if I want to turn around and say, as far as write ups go, it was all right, but it was just like a really lame one. And then my other lame one is Tough Mudder. Tough Mudder, I've put the lamest one out. We apologise to those who receive medals for their hard earned work on the course. We're sorry to hear that you've discovered the confidence to overcome your limitations, and we truly feel awful for taking your fears away from you. please send back your medals.
Yeah, that doesn't even make much sense.
No, only reason I knew it was an April Fool's because they've put in hashtag April Fools. Um, didn't make sense at all to me. And
No, that didn't make sense at all. HYROX finally got in on the April Fools, but I guess in a case of imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, they kind of copied ours from last year.
no, they didn't.
Yeah, last year we did one that said HYROX is banning people from running without a shirt. Oh no, you get a patch if you finish HYROX with your shirt still on. You know,
Yeah,
just a silly little one. Obviously, that was April Fool's, and they did a variation saying you get a 69-second penalty for not wearing a shirt.
okay. So it's a bit of a play on ours, but yeah, I mean, last year's were good, Ian. The one that you put out last year was good, but I've got to turn around and say you have topped it. This year, you have topped it without a doubt.
Yeah, I liked it this year, and it was an idea. For those of you who haven't seen, we basically said HYROX was doing a new event called UROX, and it was like a choose your own adventure, wasn't it? And we did it just like a regular press release, put it out there. There were little things that made it obvious because we wished everyone a happy 1st of April. I think we said that the statement came from a gentleman called Floor. I can't remember his surname, but it was an anagram of April Fool. And it was interesting the amount of people who obviously a lot spotted it straight away because they expect it. Some said they were looking forward to our April Fool's joke, which is interesting. Didn't realize we had fans like that, but a fair few did get taken in by it, and I felt so guilty, Alan.
Ian, it was brilliant. Like, I've got to admit, when I first saw it, I'm thinking, you'd not sent me any press release. So I'm thinking, I entered a presser for this, and it's up there, and I'm thinking, and it's your favorite. You always put in April Fool's and anagram. That is your thing. So that gave it away for me. But it's real. Do HYROX in any order you want. Go to station 8 first. Do your war balls first. Go to the row. Whichever way you want to do it, it's your rocks. Do it wherever you want. Oh, cracking idea. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, people absolutely loved it, and yeah, I've no idea what we'll do next year. But what I will say, Alan, 2 years ago when we did our first April Fool's one, do you remember what that was?
Oh, remind me. I do remember it back. Remind me what it was.
It was the World Series of Fitness Swimming HYROX.
Yes, that's it. HYROX, yes. You had swimming in, yes.
And less than 2 years later, HYROX is a real thing now in Belgium.
No way. No way.
Yeah, someone has done swim and do physical exercises on the side of a pool. Probably extremely dangerous, but they did hold an event and they're holding more events. So who knows? Your rocks might come to a venue near you soon.
So what we're hoping is that patches come this year then. In the next 12 months, we're going to see patches for keeping your shirts on, and then we're going to get your rocks in 2 years' time.
Absolutely. I've no idea what we're going to do for next year, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. But there was also some other good ones. Like what I liked was Alton Towers.
Oh, what did Olsen Towers have?
Because do you know that one of the big ones this year was about Kit Kat? Kit Kat did quite a big
Yeah,
one that got a lot of attention. Yeah.
yeah.
Alton Towers, they must have worked very quickly because once that one came out, they published their own saying, "Dear Kit Kat, we're sorry to hear about what happened. Don't worry, come to our theme park and ride the first ever fully chocolate roller coaster."
I saw a Kit Kat one, which I'm going to say this is a small company, Outlaw Triathlon, and They were talking about their aid stations, and they were saying that they no longer have Jaffa cakes, but all their aid stations now are full of Kit Kats. Because this is the Kit Kat that's been stolen in Europe and everything else. And they got a picture of an aid station with two vending machine Kit Kats, two Kit Kat vending machines at the side of it. I loved that one. I thought that was it were quite cheeky, quite fun, and that. But I loved the chocolate roller coaster. I'd not seen the chocolate roller coaster. That was a whole new one on me.
Genius. What other good ones did you see, Alan?
So I got one that was good, but I'm not going to go to that one first. I'm going to go on to the one that I found really, really funny. And this came from the Federation of Italiano OCR. And they have brought out some shoes, the FIOCR running shoes. Absolutely brilliant. So they are called the frog shoes. They've got extreme grip. They're ideal for ninja athletes, frogs, and professional geckos. And basically, they have mocked up a picture of some shoes that have got big suckers on the bottom. I just thought it was just so much fun, so light-hearted, clearly and utterly a April Fool's joke. But it was a great one. Now, there is another one, though, that I liked. Yeah, so I'm going to give this other one first. And this, I read it all, and I had to read it twice to understand it was an April Fool's joke. So the Seven Bridge Park Run are introducing the first Park Run Plus, the Bridge to Bridge Challenge. They've put a map on it and everything in. They had a map of the park run from one bridge to the Seven Bridge and back again. And it talks about, I'll read it all to you because it's a cracker, this one. It says, we are thrilled to announce a global first initiative, the Bridge to Bridge Park Run Plus. To celebrate the 60th anniversary of the original Seven Bridge Park Run HQ was granted a unique metric variance waiver. As the most iconic event in the global portfolio, we have cleared to break the 5K tradition and do a one-off 5-mile endurance event. Starting from the shadows of a Grade 1 list of Seven Bridge, runners will traverse the Welsh coastal path in an entirely linear point-to-point journey, past the St. Pierre Gauntlet, navigate the St. Pierre Golf Course, and then this is where it got a little bit like April Fool, because it said standard park run high vests are not birdie proof, so please duck accordingly. A seawall sprint and the Royal Welsh finish. Your familiar finish funnel will be waiting directly on the Prince of Wales Bridge, and then it talks about logistics. But it was like I had to read it all again, Ian, to understand that it wasn't, because it talks about you're going to get a 0.609 t-shirt, limited edition t-shirt for it. So yeah, it almost got me. It almost got me. But I thought it was a good one for a park run.
I like that one because it's got that element of believability. Like the one we did, it had that element of believability. I think you either have to make it believable or you have to make it so outlandish and silly, like the gecko shoes, but it's obvious. Did you see Deckers, by the way? Because I like Deckers.
I didn't. I think Deckers didn't come on. Was it on Facebook or Instagram? Because I've only been on Facebook this last few days.
It was on Instagram, and should I read it out to you?
Go on.
DEKA zone update. So they're putting DEKA, which is the 11th zone. As our community has evolved, so has a standard of performance. Fitness, technical skill, and competitive drive reached a level that the original 10-zone format can no longer fully contain. To meet this demand, we are raising the ceiling. Effective immediately, we're adding an 11th zone to all events. Consistent with this expansion, we will henceforth be known as DEKA, Greek for 11. Allegedly, I have not checked that. Meet your new Zone 11, and then you slide. Zone 11 must complete spear throw.
Oh, I love it. That's a cracker.
Control your heart rate after run burpees. Find your composure. You have to stick this throw to earn your finisher medal and your DEKA mark.
And if you don't stick it, you're DQ'd.
Yeah, if you don't stick it, you have to keep going. How amazing is that? That I
Oh,
like that. It's silly, but possibly it could be true.
it could. It could. I have got one more bit of April Fool, and we're going to feed into it, but it's not an April Fool. But before we do, let's find out what are you drinking tonight, Ian?
Oh, tonight I have got some poppy soda, which is strawberry lemon. It was in the chilled aisle of Tesco because why wouldn't it be? And yeah, it's fine. Alan, what about you?
I'm still on the Peroni, zero alcohol Peroni. I went and got some more as we came back from the awards on Sunday. I called in on Sunday evening, grabbed some more. That weather was bad driving back down.
Yeah, that weather was terrible. I've never felt such a bad headache as when I pulled up to a rugby game. You know, because you've got to concentrate to like
Yeah.
avoid dying.
It was that type of weather though, wasn't it? I think at one point we had all the windscreen wipers going crazy. Um, but back to what I was going to suggest, going to segue into. Um, a lot of people got called out on Wednesday because Matt Brook, the global president of Tough Mudder Spartan, put a bit of a cryptic message on his social media, on his Facebook. And people were mentioning, is this April Fool? Is this April Fool? We know it wasn't because he actually put it on his LinkedIn on Tuesday. But it looks like he's going to be moving on. Now, we don't know at this moment in time, and we'll keep you informed as to what he's going to move on to when we find out. Because I messaged him and he says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll see you at World's Toughest Mudder still." So I don't know whether he is moving on outside Spartan or if he's moving on inside Spartan. But interesting.
Or maybe he's moving on to get his gold jacket at WTM.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Can you imagine if he actually took part and did the whole event and not just one or two? Him and Giles. Who would win between him and Giles?
Oh, that's a hard one because I don't want to get banned from Tough Mudder, but because Giles is athletic, because we know he was quite a good canoeist, wasn't he, back in the day?
My
And we
sources tell me
also
he was.
know I'm going to call, yeah, I think Matt, of course, has done obstacle races as well. I'm going to go dead heat.
Oh, Ian. At the end of this show, I'm going to put a recording. So listen, I want you to listen to a recording of someone I spoke to at Tartan Warriors last weekend, and I asked him the same question, but not about Matt and Giles, but about me and Ian. Who did he prefer best? So listen to the end of this show. Ian doesn't know this. He's going to have to wait until we actually record this show's out before he even finds out who Johnny Weir thinks is going to be who's his favourite host. He listens to this every week. I think he's 10-year old. He listens to this every week, Ian. I said I'd give him a shout out, but I'm going to play the live recording I did with him at the end of the show. But you have given such a political answer, Ian, of like I'm gonna turn around and say I'm going to go Giles, and the only reason I'm going to say Giles is because I don't want him to go and put any killer gorilla out at World's Toughest Mudder in the middle of the night again. So Giles, you got my vote as long as you don't put killer gorilla out in the middle of the night again.
That's fair. And to be fair, I don't believe I'm going to be at WTM. We talked about this at the award show. Well, me and you did. It turns out it clashes. I didn't realize it actually clashed with Deadly Dozen Bolton. And honestly, I can't miss Deadly Dozen Bolton. It's just the way it is. It may be the first kind of like hybrid or obstacle race that we've had in Bolton for like ever. So I can't miss that. And I'm fairly sure I don't even know what I'm then doing on the Saturday. Oh, I do know what I'm doing on Sunday. Going watching Something Rotten with Ian Rawlinson, which is a play about Shakespeare. So that'll be fun while you're all there in Beaver Castle, either freezing or sweating, depending on the weather. But yeah, I'd also like to give a shout out to Johnny Weir as well. I saw him as he was on his way out of the awards, obviously with his dad Bill and that. And I will say, what a delightful young man.
Charming young man. I would say charming young man. Very polite. Um, I, I, I could have talked to him all day. I um, I interviewed him at Tartan Warrior, and we messed up the first time we interviewed him, and it was really bad noise. So when you listen to this guy's, you know, understand it's pretty bad noise. We're in a bit of a barn trying to get away from the weather. But I interviewed him the first time, and the machine didn't work. So I said, "Oh, we need to do it again," and he went, "Cool, let's do it again."
God, if only all of our guests were like that, eh?
It was. Talking about awards, let's have a little bit of a memory lane. It's on YouTube. People can go back and watch it on YouTube. It was on Facebook Live. We had it on Facebook Live. So, a couple of thank yous I want to talk to people about. Big thank you to Wendy Brothers for sourcing the venue for us. Absolutely brilliant. Lovely hotel. Fenwick Hotel. Lovely hotel. Rooms were nice. I enjoyed my room. Did you like your room?
Yeah, it was lovely. I very much went for the budget option, as in the cheapest, and it was far nicer than rooms I've paid like double the price for.
Yeah, me too. Proper liked it. British Obstacle Sports for getting all the awards together for the 3K, the sprint, the Endurance League, and all of that. Um, and Mike Nolan for putting the presentation together. Which and he was still working on it on Saturday morning when I saw him in the hotel. He was still typing away on Saturday morning. So a big thank you to Mike for putting that together for us. And to yourself, Ian, for turning up and being a excellent co-host.
Well, thank you, Alan. And of course, a big shout out to you for doing, let's be honest, 95% of the work that Wendy Brothers didn't do.
Yeah, thank you, Ian. One thing though, Ian, I'm going to ask if any of our listeners have got any marketing skills and they want to be involved in putting on the awards for next year. We're looking for someone who potentially can reach out and get sponsorship. It's a volunteer basis. So if any of our listeners are interested in that, please hit us up. The committee will be launched in the next couple of weeks. We've got everyone apart from a marketing person in terms of who can go out and get the sponsorship.
Do we have anyone on the committee who can get the splinters out of my hand? Because I love our wooden awards until I had to handle about 60 of them.
And I didn't get any in my hands whatsoever, Ian. So I'm going to sit around and say you were just gripping them far too tight.
You hardly touched them.
I touched the ones I needed to touch. I was the one who I passed the one or two out. I think
You
you ended up
did.
passing all the you was doing all the series awards, so you ended up picking loads up. I think I just did about 7 or 8 of the main awards, and you did the other 7.
Yeah. Quick question. For series awards that were for people who weren't there, any idea where they ended up? Have they kind of made their way to those people?
Currently, from my understanding, yeah, this is my understanding, they are in a car. I don't know whose car, but they are in cars destined for places to where they should be going, if I'm right. And I don't know whose car they're in. I know Wendy didn't take them because she was flying. Um, the wheelhouses might have had a few. I'm not sure. Um, I don't know if Dawn and Finley took some. I know people were taking them, and for the people that weren't here, the big one I was looking for, which I couldn't find because we was going to present it, was a Tough Mudder one, which Martin picked up, and I don't know where it went to because I was going to take it down to. But Martin will take it to WTM for me. I know he will.
I don't think he would when you presented it to Mike.
Oh, Mike, sorry, it was Mike, not Martin, weren't it? Martin presented it to Mike.
Yeah, Mike's probably got it, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh gosh. Um, yeah, great time at the awards. I can't believe it, Alan. For the first ever time, You oversold. You oversold to the extent that we had an awards fringe where a couple of athletes who couldn't get tickets were in the bar area ordering food from the bar menu.
We certainly were. And this is a funny thing as well this year, and I'm going to tell you something now. I got up on the Sunday morning and I was told that I owed some money to the hotel, and I was thinking, I don't owe no money for the hotel. But apparently I owed for two meals. So a big thank you. I'm not going to name the people who did it, who came last and said, can we get on the tables? And they got on tables. Um, but they've got sent me the money as well for the meals. So big thank you to them, which I've not even realised that anyone would have come that late and managed to get on a table.
Incredible. So they did that, and we had people on the fringe as well.
Yes, it was absolutely. It was a crazy night, an absolute brilliant night, and the medals were going left, right, and centre. Um, I didn't want to leave, but I had to leave early because I was up early on Sunday to go to Tartan Warrior. Um, what an amazing weekend at Tartan Warrior. Do you want to know some results?
Yes, please, because unfortunately I missed it. For those of you who are wondering about the big result of the weekend, Oldham beat Hunslet 44-0.
I like the Holden Beatles at 44. That's a whitewash, that. That is not just that's a whipping.
It was worth the fact that I only spent less than 24 hours in Scotland to watch that. It was a great game, but God, an 8 hour round trip in lashing rain wasn't fun. And it made me appreciate our Scottish brethren because they do that a lot more than me, and I haven't shut up about it since.
And you're looking very dapper, I've got to admit, in your rugby shirt tonight. It's looking very clean and very smart.
Which is surprising. I haven't took it off since. It's a lucky shirt. Work looked to me a bit strange, but yeah, they'll get over it.
I'll get over it. I'll get over it. I thought what we'd do would because this was the first race of the season, and I think we're probably going to do this with all the UKOCR series. We're going to give top ten, and we're going to mention top 10. So, 10th place, Catherine Burnett Wilson. Ninth, Sandy Powell. 8, Georgina Quayle. 7, Louise Ferryman. 6, Pip Rainbow. 5th, Libby Joyce. 4th, Karen McQuarrie. 3rd, Charlotte Dehaney. 2nd, Izzy Young. And in first place, who's odds? Becky Neal.
Well done, Becky. And am I right in thinking that Shyla and Becky, and in fact, a lot of them also raced on the Saturday?
They did. Becky was first under 3K Saturday. I think Shiloh was second. I don't know who got third. I watched this 8K. I filmed it in. It's actually on our YouTube channel right now, so people can go back and watch it. And I'm going to turn around and say, I've never seen Becky running so well. She looked relaxed. She was flying. She was very smooth through the obstacles. Um, the women had the worst conditions. So the men's was tough, wind, a little bit of rain, but nothing near what the women had. Um, Libby came up to one of the first set of rigs. She could probably hate me telling people this, but she came to the first set of rigs, and it was rings. So it was rings. She was just set of rings, but the wind and the rain was blowing them that hard that they were swinging. They were swinging 2 foot either way. They were almost going horizontal when they were swinging. And I mean, she missed one of them. She actually grabbed it, but it missed because it was going past that fast, um, which was shocking. But on the second rig, which was the low to medium to high rig, she went to hit the bell, and as she went to hit the bell, the wind blew the bell completely away. So she missed the bell. The conditions were absolutely horrendous. Um, Big shout out. I know Becky didn't have a clean race. You know, it was close to clean, but it wasn't completely clean. I don't think Izzy did either. Um, Shyla was injured, but she struggled through. The absolute conditions for them females was absolutely crazy. And but a big shout out to all of them who braved them conditions, went out and absolutely smashed it.
No, well done to them all, and I can't wait for Who's Hot. Do you reckon we'll be able to get the women's winner on?
I'm hoping that somehow that they've swung it that she's on Who's Hot, yes, which comes out Monday. So yeah, I would hope that they will get Who's Hot on.
Right. Hopefully Becky's on Who's Hot. That's good
Yes,
news.
yes. Men's. Before I give the men's, if you were going to put money on anyone passing a rig, yeah, yeah, it would be Ramonas, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
He failed one in the barn. He failed one. They had letters shaped that spelt Hamish, and he went for the I. Hands were wet, slipped straight off. If he'd have gone for every other letter, it would have been fine because they were more grippy. But the I, he hands slipped off, so he dropped quite down. But let's give you top 10. 10th place, James Burton. 9th, Cameron Montgomery. 8th, James Marigold Cash. 7th, Alex Young. 6th, Jonathan Hunter. 5th, Darren Martin. 4th, Finlay Greenleaf. 3rd, Russell Walsh. 2nd, Gavin Hogarth. And the winner of the men's, Morgan Maxwell. Absolutely amazing. And he was close. I mean, he was less than a minute between Morgan and Gavin. And I think Russell was about a minute and a half further back. Gavin was hot on Morgan's heels for such a long time, pushing Morgan, constantly pushing him. It was great to watch. Again, go to our YouTube channel. They're on there. If you go to the end of them as well, Ian, there's about 20 minutes for men's and 20 minutes for women's. Afterwards, we get some of the rest of the field, some like what we call background shots, but I've put them all at the end that we took so people can go and maybe see if they can see themselves as well.
So Morgan was there for a race, but he missed picking up his award.
Yeah, didn't we? Right, you know what it is? He actually did it because he knew he was going to win, didn't he? That was the whole idea behind it. He thought, I'll not go and do it, the awards, because I'll be fresh as anything, you know. Finley won the 3K on the Saturday, and only got fourth place, I think, on here. You know, he should have been challenging, but he didn't. He went out and had a little drink and a little boogie, and just wasn't fit enough to get there, you know. And he's a young lad, but he'll be on Who's Hot. He'll be talking about his 8K race and that, and his 3K win. So what an amazing event! What an amazing thing! Out of the 3K and the 8K, they've got both the winners of 3K and the female winner of the 8K on the show. Oh, I wonder if they've got Morgan on as well.
Oh, that'd be good. That would be good. But yeah, I think we should take responsibility for poor Finley, and I'm sure that the organising committee of the awards will try and put it on maybe the day of a series race and not the day before. But it is what it is. Series race was on Sunday. No one was going to stay around Sunday night, so we had to do it. But incidentally, Alan, I believe I know the answer to the question of which podcast host is most likely to pass away a rig if we asked our audience.
Who's going to pass the rig? Go on then. Who's going to pass the rig in us?
Absolutely me, as I walk straight past, wave at it as I go.
I love that, and I love that. Um, I'm going to turn around and say, if anyone has never been to Tartan Warrior, you need to go and do it because I got FOMO. I really want to do it, you know, and I wish I could have stayed around and done it. It was, it's the way it's set up. It's an old school OCR. Some of the schools are old. Some of the obstacles are old school. They've got proper barbed wire. They've got all of that stuff out there, which is absolutely amazing. But what they've also got is they've got the new stuff. They've got the rigs. They've got the new obstacles. All of that stuff, which absolutely makes it phenomenal as an event. And I'm going to say, I think there was 50 obstacles over 8K, which is absolutely amazing.
No, absolutely, mate. really looked good from the video you put up. Again, I'm sorry I missed it. I know I don't do as much OCR as I used to, and I dare say that even if I had a ticket, I probably wouldn't have done it in most conditions, but it looked like a lot of fun for those who are able to brave the conditions.
Too right. But there was one person not there, Ian. One person I would have loved to have been there for the awards and the race, and his absence was noted. Dasa Scanella was not there.
No, he wasn't, and he missed up. Well, he missed an opportunity to pick up a small tree.
He didn't miss an opportunity to pick up a small tree. But Dasos was over in Croatia. I want to say it was in Croatia, racing for the Spartan team in Santa Dominica, um, in Croatia, as I said. And he was doing the elite race, the super elite race. Do you want to know how we got on?
Go on. I hope that you built this up because he did well, because it's really going to be embarrassing if you say, well, he skipped out on the awards to DNF.
Well, he didn't DNF, no. I think he did well. I haven't asked him if he thought he did well, but I think he did well. I'll go down from first until we actually reach him. So first was Milos Rajovic. Second was Espen Bergo. Third was Joseph Drovlov. Fourth was Nicholas Rakoki. And fifth was Dasas Ganella. He got fifth in the elite race. He was about 4 minutes behind the winner. I want to say 57:59 was the winner. Dassos was 1 hour, 1 minute 27. It looked like it a pretty good race. He was in between fourth and fifth. There was no big gap between them, just a nice steady gap between them. But that 30 of the best elites in Europe were there. And I think that's quite a good result, mate. Fifth place.
No, absolutely. Like you say, some of the best elites were there. Well done to Dassos. Extended podium is always a good place to be.
Too right. Too right. Right. Let's talk about some news, some OCR news. Bob Commander. Bob Commander, listen to our podcast, yeah, or they have seen the news about the marathon moving to 18 miles.
Obviously, if you're listening to our podcast, because no one else saw that news except me and you.
Possibly right. So they have law, they've announced, and this is not an April Fool, this was announced before April Fool, that you don't have to be a warrior to take part in Bog Commander. You don't need the perfect training regime either. You just need to have guts to try, run, or walk it. However, you don't even have to take on the 6K course because you can, at 4 kilometers, you can take the shortcut to avoid the hills. It's your race. You finish it how you want. What's this about, Ian? What is this about? Seriously. Is everyone just going to say, you can run whatever you want and we're going to give you a medal?
Well, I put that as a post on Wednesday and it got so much love. It was unbelievable, you know? Okay, it was an April Fool's, but yeah, people love this idea of being able to dictate what they do. It's interesting that Bob Commander are doing this. I can kind of understand their thinking that, yeah, maybe the hills put people off, but on the other hand, how can you actually avoid the hills at Bob Commander? Because don't you start going down?
You
Are they
do.
going to send an Uber for you?
I think from my so I've done Bog Commander about 3 times. I haven't done it for the last 2 years. I'll be honest, I haven't done it for the last 2 years. Um, but for me, you start halfway up an hill, so you have to walk down a pretty steep hill to get to the farm where it's all held on the farm, and then at that point you run down the hill, do the bogs, do some slides and things like that. And then about 4K into it, you come back to the steep hill and you're right next to the farm. You're literally, I want to say, 200 meters for the farm, but you're going to go right to the top of the hill. And the hill is steep here. I mean, it is like you need crampons, you need like full mountaineer gear, you know. It's made for goats, it's made for mountain goats, it's not made for people. It takes it out of you when you're racing. So I do get it that they're saying you don't have to do it. But again, that's part of the challenge. You know, the obstacle course racing is as hard as the designer of that course wants to be. If for me, if Bog Commander don't want to make it tough, don't make it tough. Make it 4K for people. But I don't get the whole idea of it's a 6K race, but if you want to finish, you can do it early. That it don't make sense.
Yeah, maybe have different medals or something. But we've discussed this. Have a different medal or a different ribbon, just something that it's still a race. You can still do it, but yeah, it's not the same. And I know the counter argument is, oh, you're gatekeeping, but some gates are meant to be kept.
They are. Marathon's a marathon, and Bob Commander 6K wheels is 6K wheels. Talking about marathons, um, the Berlin Half Marathon um, last week was won by Andrea Kiptu. Yeah, great rate, great victory. 59 minutes, 11 seconds. However, they were paced by Dennis Kipkemoe from Kenya. Yeah. So at a pacemaker. However, the pacemaker almost forgot that there were a pacemaker in, and they stepped aside with less than 20 meters to go. So this pacemaker could have won the race. So should a pacemaker, my question to you is, should a pacemaker step aside if they can win a race?
I'm not sure because it's always difficult because in theory, the pacemaker is meant to be running faster than they can actually run. That's the idea, isn't it? They're running, particularly in like a marathon, they're going almost redlining for the first 18 miles, and then they'll drop back and they'll either finish it in still a respectable time because you could walk it from mile 18 and still get a respectable time, or they'll just leave. And it makes you think, do we need pacemakers sometimes? It's kind of, yeah, honestly, I think he should have just won. What's it matter? It's a race.
Yeah, he said he didn't know the rules, so he almost went across the finish line. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. It was his first race racing outside Kenya. Um, and also, is it fair for a man to pace a woman in an elite race?
I think it can be, but the problem with that is it does instantly make it a mixed race.
Yeah,
And in some ways, having pacemakers who are male for a female race is actually better because they, most of the time, unless it's an ultra, they will be faster and therefore they can take, put the pace in for pretty much the entire race, which is good. And of course, they're not going to win because they they're male athletes, and the female athlete will win the female prize. So it it's definitely one of them that makes you think. And again, do we need pacemakers? Should having pacemakers be a thing of the past? Instead, should it just be a case of having athletes who effectively pace each other? We see this in HYROX whereby you get lots of good runners all together and they go faster because they're all trying to compete. You see it in OCR all the time,
yeah,
particularly on the series. I know it's harder with obstacle racing to go back and think, oh, is that a faster time than last time? Because of course, always change. But I dare say that some of the racers at Tartan Warrior probably ran their fastest 8K for a while with that density of obstacles because you had that level of competition.
you did. Yeah, yeah. That is. It's a trick question. In theory, what do you do? I'll leave that one with our audience. What does our audience think? Let us know. Let us know in the pub. What do you think?
Yeah,
Because we want to know.
And it's not just me now who has splinters. Alan has them too for sitting on this fence. So yeah.
Yes.
Um, Speaking of marathons, though, Steve HFD shared this with us, and it was part of a larger story about a athlete who was disqualified at the Chengdu World Heritage Marathon after officials discovered he had been carrying a backpack filled with dozens of energy gels collected from aid stations around the route. This gentleman obviously thought they were like Pokemon and he had to catch them all.
And this was great. This, and I love, and I don't remember who put the comment on now, but someone put the comment on, why is he actually doing it in a see-through rucksack? Because he could have, if he'd have got away with it, yeah, stealing all them gels, if he'd not put them in a clear see-through rucksack. And what's he going to do with all the gels?
Maybe resell them, but I'm not completely sure whether it was him in the picture or whether that's a mark. Who knows? But yeah, it's not the brightest of crimes. But did you also see that someone else got disqualified from this same race?
No, I missed that one.
I don't know her name, but a female runner, whilst running, saw presumably her cameraman, and she fancies herself as an influencer, and she did the splits in the middle of the race without warning the runners all around her who had to take evasive action.
Oh. This is like that guy who's running America, isn't it, with the influence in America? I can't remember his name that keeps running with an entourage around him, like 5 or 6 people filming him who's doing the marathons, but not really doing the marathons because he's getting on a bike and things like that halfway through them and doing that. I can't think of his name.
Speaking of entourages, though, Alan, moving on a little bit to Fitness Racing Corner, HYROX was in London for what felt like 25 days. I'm sure it was shorter, but it felt like a long, 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 long time. I think it started when we were first thinking about this year's awards, and I believe it ended just after you got home from the awards. That's how long it was. But as it was in London, some of the stars came out to play.
Oh, okay, okay, Matt. Let me guess. George Clooney.
Not this time.
Not this time. Harry Kane came across from Bundesliga.
No, he was sadly too busy not playing for England.
Okay, tell me the stars that rocked up here.
Well, we had, I can never say his name, Jake Quicken, is it Quicken Cash?
No idea who that one is.
Perfect, that's fine. What about Tommy Fury?
Oh yeah, Tommy Fury. That's yeah, Tyson Fury's dad,
Tyson Fury's brother, but close
brother.
enough. He ran with a friend of the show, Danny Ray, who's married to the former Zoe Haig, now of course Zoe Ray. So they're big HYROX. Well, they're a big HYROX family, and Tommy Fury finally joined the family business and went and did a run. Also, Alan, and I'm so upset I missed this one. Melanie C, Sporty Spice, ran a HYROX with her sister, and I missed it.
Oh, see, I like that. Sporty Spice runs out. See, that's good, that isn't it? You know what I mean? That's influencing that.
It absolutely was. Because I was a young lad when the Spice Girls were, it was always Sporty Spice was one of the ones I had a little bit of a crush on when I was aged. What age would I be? Spice Girls were in the 90s, so I must have been what, about 1 year old, something like that. No, 11, 12, yeah, uh, absolutely. But they were some of the stars. There were probably ones with me. I think Ben Shepherd was there as well because why wouldn't he be? He does everything.
Well, it doesn't surprise me, Ben Shepherd. I would have guaranteed he would have been there. He probably would have been, if I had really thought about it, he would have been my first choice. Did he do it with his sons again?
He may have done. I'm not sure, but yeah, Ben was there. I want to say Gethin Jones was there, I think, as well. But fair play to HYROX. It's just like Tough Mudder back in the day. you get the people out there doing it because you want to be seen. And as silly as it sounds, it's actually nice. Like when they did, a lot of them did Tough Mudder. It's nice to go somewhere which when you may not be recognized because everyone is there supporting their friends, their family. They're not paying attention to you.
And I think that's why they do it, Ian. I think they do it because the I'm not going to say the nobodies, but they're just like everyone else, because they don't go around taking the entourage with them. They're not, there's no camera there. I guess people think that they've got cameras on them all the time. The paparazzi are not following them into HYROX because they haven't got bloody tickets. Because they don't know about it, do they? But no, I think it's great that they can go in, they can do what they want to do, and like you say, it's we've seen it at Tough Mudder. I remember Matt Pritchard being at my first ETM. Starstruck Matt Pritchard being there. Dirty Sanchez and all of that. Like Ben Shepherd last year. Spartans had Kelly Holmes run it. There's a lot of athletes and a lot of famous people been to events, and it's great to see that they're going now to HYROX. Why wouldn't you? If they're into that fitness side of it, HYROX. Was it that One Direction guy who keeps going and running marathons at the minute, doing really well at them as well? Harry
Harry
Styles.
Styles?
Harry Styles, yes.
Yeah, might see him one day at Harrods. Although he'd probably be a little bit more noticeable if that makes sense. There are some stars who will stick out, and I'd say a lot of them they can just go and enjoy themselves, and why should we begrudge that? Speaking of enjoying themselves, for Alan, we had some breaking news on the Saturday of awards about High Rock, so I was desperately getting this out, wasn't I? In between trying to sort out last minute things for the awards, but HYROX has announced an expansion of the Elite 15. So you're going to have the Elite 15 still, but we're
Yeah.
also going to have what they've dubbed a Division 1. So if everyone accepts their places, so it goes 1 to 15 will be in the Elite 15, then 16 to 30 will have a race amongst themselves. What do you think of this as a concept?
Ooh, don't know. We talked a little about this on Saturday, didn't we? About it, and I'm like, it's like having a Premiership and a Division One, and I'm liking it in some ways because the way I like the thing I like about it is that you're an elite 15 athlete, yeah, and you've earned that title. If you've been to the world champs, you've earned that title. So you should be recognised for it. But then you've got thousands more athletes that have really got nothing to fight for. You know what I mean? Because we are talking them elite athletes, that top 15 are the best of the best. Yeah. And then we're gonna have a division one, which is it gonna be another 15 athletes or will it be a lot bigger? Do you know?
It'll be another 15 athletes. It'll basically be the next Rodo.
Okay. So that part to me, I don't know. I don't think I don't know what I'm trying to get to, but it doesn't feel right that you would have 15, then another 15, then all these other athletes afterwards. I would like to see they would have call it a Premiership, and then they would call it a Division One, and the Premiership would be maybe the top 30 athletes, and Division One would be another 30 athletes. But they could swap each season. They could swap, but you've got to either win a race or you've got to finish in the top five to be classed as a Premiership athlete, and then they're the ones who race for the at the end of the season. I don't know. I
Yeah, I
just
think, yeah, I see where you're going with this. And it's almost like trying to reinvent the wheel a little bit because it's not a team sport. You can't exactly go, oh, well, Hunter McIntyre is going to race Alex Ronkovich on this date and the winner gets 3 points. So it's not a team sport. And you start asking the question of, well, about 16th spot. they could, between the first major and then the second major, they could go and race somewhere else, get a better time, get more points, and move up. So it's hard to have like that barrier there, if that makes sense, which I think is the point you were making as well.
Yeah,
We don't know exactly how it'll work. Maybe they'll release full details and I'll be, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. But I kind of like your idea of maybe you lock in 30 at the start, maybe you then almost put them in a kind of thing where I can't do maths off the top of my head, but say there's four majors of those 30, you attend three, and HYROX tell you which three you're going to attend. And maybe you have a couple of alternates just in case. And then everyone else is fighting for a chance to be in that top 30 the year after.
yeah, yeah. So something along those lines. I just don't think having an elite 15 and another 15 Division One is going to work here. And I just because you're not going to get all 15 athletes rocking up. So then you're going to potentially have to take from Division One to fill the elite 15 race up.
Yeah, I guess if I'm being cynical, that might be part of it as well. That by having this, what they'll be able to do is guarantee 15 athletes each time because they'll always be able to roll it down because you're always going to have a Div 1 athlete. And will that then mean that the race that the people further down get isn't as good? I don't know. And also, are we going to stream that race? Is it effectively going to be, to use a football term, a reserves race, just to give them that
Yeah,
little bit of experience? I don't know. Let's see how where we go with it. Let's reserve judgment completely. But you are right, Alan. The immediate reaction is kind of like, oh, really good for the athletes to get them that additional exposure. But are you watering it down a little bit too much?
and that's it for me. It's in theory, and this has just come to me then. You could get a situation where elite 15, only five elite 15 athletes turn up, and then you've got so the pull 10 from Division One, but only 11 of Division One athletes turned up. So now you've got one person running in Division One race, just the one.
That's a great idea. How do I get that position?
Exactly. But you could get that, couldn't you? That's what I'm saying. It's tough, and I don't know. IROX are trying to develop it, and they try some things. Some things work, some things don't. And I do trust in IROX and the way they work. That if it doesn't work, they'll make another change because they've done that constantly. They've constantly tried to evolve it to make it better for everyone who takes part. And I mean, when they talked about the Elite 15 race when it first came out, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to have the same station." You know what I mean? So you're going to do your lunges on the same. You're going to put your wall, but your sledges on the same. Everything happening in that one station area. Everyone was like, "No, that won't work. How can that work?" But we've seen it. It happens. It's brilliant. It's fantastic as a spectator. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Well, let's see what happens. And speaking of actually learning and that. Last week we were talking about the fact that you had these challenges, if you remember. And again, sometime listener, my brain can't remember what we talked about because we've done a lot of chatting. The fact that we had the awards as well kind of threw me off because we were chatting there. So if we covered this, I apologize, listener. But HYROX announced that challenge system that we were like, I'm not sure I quite agree with that.
Yeah,
That's out the window now. It's going to be HYROX making decisions in the Elite 15 on the race day. They're going to have more video refs to help them. So more refs watching in real time to call down penalties that the rest of us may not see. And the only way you can kind of like move from a place is, well, I guess if you do something in the wall balls and they've not been able to penalize you quick enough, or for unsportsmanlike conduct. So, if athlete A punched athlete B in that bend, which there's no camera location, then yeah, you can get them for that. So fair play to HYROX. Also, we should give them a shout out for HYROX Cruise. When it came out, quite a few people were like, "Oh gosh, that's a bit expensive," and yes, it is. But for April, they're doing 30% off.
Wow.
Is it still a little bit out of my price range? Absolutely. But if you've not booked a holiday yet, this probably puts it in the, oh, I might think about category.
Wasn't it about £900 originally or £1,000 originally?
No, for the basic cabin is 2,600 euros for the five
Oh
day
wow.
cruise for two people, so 1,300 a piece. Doesn't include your flights to getting to. I want to say they're leaving from Malaga, but please check that. Don't fly to Malaga if you're not leaving there. It might be Mallorca. I'm not sure. Um, it could be a case that it may be anywhere in Spain, so definitely check it. However, with 30% off, that takes it down to, I want to say 1,800-ish, which isn't terrible. Again, 900 a piece. Some people pay that for a luxury holiday.
Is this going to be one of the old style cruises as well? You know, the ships with the coal furnace, and part of your 30% discount is you've got to shovel the coal into the furnace because the price of fuel at this moment in time, and I'm presuming that they run on diesel, these big ships, I don't get how they can knock 30% off when my fuel has gone up by 30%.
I don't know either. I don't think it's a coal ship. I do think it's a monoship. I also think it's not a terrible deal because, of course, you'll look at that price and go, that's a bit steep, but it looks like you get food. I'm not sure about your drink, but you definitely get food, which full board. That's good. That's again a little bit out of my price range, and it's in October. I've got plenty to do in October anyway. While we're talking about fitness racing, let's give a quick shout out to DEKA. DEKA have confirmed that we are having a third DEKA event in the UK. They've called it London West. We are still waiting for the venue, so we'll find out where that is in due course. It's the end of November, 27th, 28th, I believe, or 28th, 29th. I don't have a calendar in front of me. It's that last weekend, and one of them's the 28th, I believe. And it's going to be a trifecta weekend. So if you want to do all the deckers in one go, get your trifecta medal, you can do.
Loving it, Ian. Loving it, Ian. I'm loving that. Deadly Dozen, new medals come out.
The new bling, the new, I think there were patches that we got sent, and they look cool. You've got the little Mori skulls of the various countries.
Loving it, Ian. Deadly Dozen going again, going from strength to strength, bringing new things out, adding new things to each and um, every event. Loving it.
Yeah, and a week tomorrow, if you're listening to this on release day, is the first Deadly Dozen event of the year, and then they just keep going throughout the summer. I think they miss one weekend in May, but other than that, they just keep going, and we will be there for a little more than half of them, Alan. I believe we've agreed to. So you'll see us doing some media stuff that was sorted out last week. Speaking of things we sorted out, and speaking of fitness racing, Alan, we've just signed a contract to help out a new brand, haven't we? There's a small modest retainer in it, but it's an apparel company.
It is, Ian, and it's a different apparel company. You know, this is not something that's just, oh, let's make a climber cool shirt and let's make some really fancy shorts. We looked at it, you chatted to him more than me, but it's called Racing 8. So you can find him on Instagram. It's Race IN, then the number 8 TE. Check them up. We are sharing their posts. But the clothing they're doing is designed for athletes to make people race better. And I like it. And some of the things that I've seen on there, they've got the shorts that have got these dry patches on so you can dry your hands before you start lifting, like the kettlebells or things like that. And the shorts have got like stretchy sections. So when you're doing your lunges, they're not pulling on you. They've been well thought out. This has been well thought out, this range of clothing.
Yeah, I really do like the dry bit on the shorts. It is just awesome because I'm not someone who really likes chalk because I hate my I hate it on my hands. And then when you're running out of the station, there's nowhere to get rid of it. So the idea I can just dry my hands on my shorts, perfect. We are going to be sent samples. Can't wait to try these out. But we're so confident of it, and plus it's backed by some amazing athletes that yeah we've agreed for them to become our newest partner on the show. So you'll hear some adverts from.
You certainly will. You certainly will, which is absolutely amazing. I've got one more bit of news here. So people have asked, people know that me and Paul are getting married May 14th of this year. And people have asked, are we having a bit of a party stroke, whatever, what are we going to do? So we have decided for all our running buddies, if anyone wants to come on Friday, the 17th of July, and camp over at Overload or stop somewhere at Overload. It's not the race, it's a Friday night. We're going to have a bit of a get together. We'll put a bit of buffet on with people and things like that. So you can come down, you can camp free of charge on the Friday night if you want to. If you want to race, I'll sort you out with a discount code for Saturday. Anyone who wants to do it, just hit me up, let me know what you want to do. We're not expecting loads of people, but it's going to be a really nice, chilled evening with friends to celebrate. Me and Paul will be married.
I love this, Alan, and I love it so much. I'm not even going to make a joke about a true Yorkshireman hosting a party at a venue he's already booked for something else and doubling up. I'm not even going to make that joke. I'm just going to say
In a
what
field.
yeah, well, yeah, it's a venue kind of, but yeah, what a great great thing. Hopefully, I'll be there, as you know, and what I've just realised, we may actually need to have the first ever double horse substitution that week
We might well have the double O substitution. I know why.
because I'm on my non-HYROX cruise and have no internet, and you're in a field putting over obstacles and have no internet. So if anyone's interested in coming on the Swift Half and hosting it that particular week, get in touch now.
Oh, see, that's it. We just, we're not gatekeepers. We'll let anyone host our show.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, if you do a great job, you host it next week too.
I have got no more news, Ian.
And neither have I. I think I think we've done the proper shift. It's been a proper Swift half. And with all that being said, again, thank you so much for everyone who came to the awards. Thank you in advance to all those people who are going to arrange the 2026 awards.
Yes.
But as I said on Saturday, it's goodbye from me.
And listeners, thank you for listening. You take care. You stay safe. You keep on running, and we will speak to you all soon. Bye.